What's up, guys? It is Chris back with another watch video, and I wanted to talk about my top 5 Microbrand divers under $500. And I realized I have a lot of favorite Microbrand divers. Now, what you see in front of you are a bunch of watches of which I do not own. So all of these here are on loan except for the Notice, which I have paid for with my own money. Everything else here is on loan from the brands that sent them to me, and they are all at one point or another going to be sent back. So actually a few of these are actually on their way out, including the Borealis, I believe, and the rest are on loan still, and I've had the Ventus for quite some time. It's on loan. I have the Ventus here. However, I really would say that the Mako 2 from Zelos is the watch that should be sitting here. I don't have one of those right now. I owned one and I sold it, and I kind of wish I never did. And I'm waiting for them to relist some more Mako 3s or come out with a version 4 or something, because I really miss that watch, and it's a watch that I probably shouldn't have sold. I had the Meteorite bezel, which I wasn't that crazy about, and I probably should just get the sand dial and listen to my own advice. However, like I was saying, some of these are actually over $500, but I'm going to go through the ones that are $500, and then the ones that are over $500, how they compare to the ones that are under $500, and how you can get them for under $500. So, the Ventus I mentioned, this comes in at $269, NH35, 300 meter dive watch, sapphire crystal, fully lume bezel, really a killer watch. The Mako, same thing, a really killer watch that gets a Miyota Movement 9000 series. Another really great deal, and those come in around $400 if you get them on pre-order. $369 I think is the pre-order price. Amazing, amazing watches, and of course I'll throw up some video of the one that I owned. I love that watch, and like I said, I wish I never flipped it, but I sold it just because I wasn't too crazy about that Meteorite. And I wish I got that black sand dial. The next one here, I would say, is the Borealis. The Borealis comes in at $195 pre-order, and then another $195 when the watch is ready. This is an insane value. This comes with a Miyota 9015. You get a hobnail dial, again a ceramic bezel. You get full bracelet, beautiful clasp on here, just a really nicely made watch, and again, very thin watch, and you are getting 300 meters of water resistance on this watch. The Retrospect 2, again, like I said, is that watch that I actually purchased, 200 meters water resistance, NH35, which is the downfall on this watch. It's a little bit thicker than the rest. However, the finishing and fit on this watch is incredible. Very nice bezel action on here. And I'll throw this on my wrist as well. Actually, I'll throw them all on my wrist. So the bezel action is really nice, very tight on this watch. That salmon dial is a beautiful sandwich dial. Ceramic bezel, you can get it with steel. This comes in at $425 on the steel, and then $450 with this ceramic bezel. Again, a very similar clasp throughout all of these, except for obviously the Dufresne, and they are all like the similar design that you see, where you have a pretty good amount of micro adjust. They all fold over. They all are pretty much the same. But speaking of affordable divers, here is a very affordable diver. This gets a Sellita SW200. Very similar bracelet to that Notice. Really good lume on here, lumed indices and a lumed bezel, very bright lume. This is a 200 meter diver, ceramic bezel as I mentioned. This is a prototype, so they're making some upgrades to this. Really nice, solid bezel action, actually reminds me of my SBDC 061. Really nice. Just a really nice watch. This gets the SW200, like I said. So But this is actually under $500. It's around $450 if you use the link. If you go to the review that I did of this watch and also the unboxing, there is a link in the description there that you can go and buy one of these. They are ending the pre-order season pretty soon on these, and I don't think you'll be able to get them for that price, so definitely act now if you are interested. This is the James and Muriel. This is another watch with that Miyota 9000 series, a 9039. Again, another nice thin dive watch, really beautiful bracelet on here, Rolex inspired, and you get glide lock, which is literally invaluable during the summer. You can see it just moves, and it just fits really nice. 40 millimeters. Good looking watch. You can get a choice of a steel insert without any color or an aluminum insert which is colored. There's a few different colors. These are on pre-order. These are $479, and you get, again, 300 meters of water resistance, dome sapphire crystal, just a beautiful bracelet. Excellent watch. I'll do some bezel action on this so you could hear it. Very nice bezel action on this. Super solid bezel. Sounds really good. None of the bezels on the table are bad at all. Actually, I'm going to go back. I will throw the Ventus on my wrist so you guys could see, just so you can see this watch. And we'll do a Lume shot at the end. This watch will win because it has a fully Lume dial and it's pretty bonkers. It has a Lume bezel as well, just an incredible watch. And then, of course, the Borealis. I did not throw this on my wrist. Again, I have a 7.5 inch wrist, just for those who don't know. Borealis is 41 millimeters. The Ventus is 41 millimeters or 42 millimeters. The Notice, I'll throw that. I threw that on my wrist already, but that is, I believe, 42 millimeters, or no, I want to say it's 45. It's 40.5 millimeters, and then the Gin Clear is 42 millimeters, and the Second Hour watches, Gin Clear. This is the cream sand dial. Has a very nice textured dial, gilt indices, tons of Lume. And then there are the two that are over $500. That is the Collins and the Dufresne. Now, both of these you can get on special under $500 or at $500, and they are very much worth it. The Collins is got a bracelet that's nicely made. However, it is a pressed bracelet. You get an SW200 in here. Beautiful blue dial, steel bezel insert. I have to say, this looks great on a strap. It looks great on the bracelet. I really will miss this watch when it goes home. When I have to send it back to, when I have to send it back to the brand. Just a really nice watch. I really enjoyed wearing it. Will be sad to see it go. And then the Dufresne. So the Dufresne is coming out with a bracelet. I don't know how much that will be. However, I love the Barton strap that it comes on, and it comes on a very blue, vibrant strap. Dufresne make a cool watch. This is like a sterile diver. It's very modern looking, and the bezel is like a tank on this thing. It's just really robust and feels very nice. The Lume on this is really good because the indices are painted on the dial, and they are very, very liberally painted with BGW9. The case shape, the finishing on this watch is excellent. Really one of the best on the table. And if you can get these when they go on sale, definitely get one. They are really cool, very good looking divers. And I'll do the bezel action on the Collins. Sorry, I forgot that. Pretty good on here. What I have found with this watch is that you can see my fingers are slipping. I have very dry hands, and they polish the edges of the bezel so my fingers actually slip when I'm trying to turn the bezel. But besides that and the clasp, I really love that watch. It's really cool. Anyway, so now what I will do is I will do a Lume Shot. Now, I'm not ranking these on which ones I like the best. Like I said, you have ones that just are under $500. You can get them even cheaper than that when the brands run specials, which is really awesome. Some of them are actually on pre-order and they're really good prices right now. So that's the Borealis and the II Muriel. But like I said, notice they pretty much just sell out. So if you want one, you know, they're already sold out of the Retrospect 2. They're going to be coming out with more colors. I believe they said they're going to come out with another black and then another green, I think I heard. But they sell out quick, you know, and they're hard to get. The Gin Clear is in pre-order now, and the pricing will go up on these. I mean, you're getting a watch that's finished really nicely. They're making some improvements to it. Either you like this logo or not. There's a double logo here. I think it's a lot, but I think they're going to be doing away with this logo on the production model. Maybe they're not. Maybe they will be keeping it, and then they're coming out with another watch that will not have that. So definitely keep an eye on the brand if you like it. But that's what's keeping you from getting it. They're coming out with a second watch. I believe it's going to be called, I can't remember, the Great Stride, that's it. And it's going to not have that extra lollipop at the end of the second hand. And that really would do it for me. And they're shrinking down the indices a little bit, and they are shrinking down the logo. They're taking away the line under the second hour, and they're taking away some of the wording down there. They're making the bezel matte, so it's going to be nice. I definitely want to pick up one of these. It reminds me a lot of the Notice, which I think is a kind of a benchmark for microbrands. And you know, obviously Ventus and Zelos, I think the Mako is their nicest watch in my opinion. It's the most refined out of all of them. There's always something a little bit off about Zelos, so you definitely need to wait until other people get them. But then they sell out so quickly, it's very hard to even do that. So it's a chance that you take. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna do a Lume Shot, and then we'll wrap up the video. So you can see a lot of good lume on the table here. Obviously the Ventus is the brightest. You have a lot of lume on this watch. The entire dial is lumed, the bezel is lumed, none of the indices or the hands are lumed, but you don't need that because obviously the entire dial is lumed. What stands out on the table? Obviously the Dufresne, the Barton Springs, those huge indices are very, very bright, very liberally applied with lume. Also the Gin Clear and the Borealis. I think the Borealis might be a little bit brighter on the bezel side of things, and I think that's because they have lumed every minute on the track of the bezel. So you have a lot more lume on the bezel. It's just the way it is, I guess. And then, of course, the II Muriel has just a really cool lume pattern here. That whole track is all lumed. It's a sandwich dial. On the sandwich, they put applied indices. Those are lumed, and then you have lumed hands. So you don't get a lume bezel, but you have a really cool lume dial. So it's like a partially lume dial. It works perfectly. It looks really good. I really like that. And then the Collins watch, there's not a lot of lume on this watch, just on the indices, and then the little triangle on the bezel. So I would say out of all of them, that's probably not the best. The Collins falls short in a few different areas. However, it's really a darling of a watch. That's the only way I could explain it. I love it. When I was wearing it, it looks really good, especially for summer. The colors that they use for the dials are just pretty cool. These are all great watches, and I would love to own any of them. I hope to own all of them one day, but obviously I don't have the money to do that. The Notice, sorry, I think I left that one out. Pretty good, not the best on the table. I think obviously the Gin Clear beats the Notice, and so does the Borealis. Actually, everything beats it on the table except for the Collins. I love the Notice though. I love the dial. I think it's so cool. All of these watches are great. So anyway, if you found this video interesting, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog. There are a bunch of links in the description. Those links are to watches, to Amazon. However, if you buy one of those watches or anything through those links, it goes to help supporting the channel. It does not interrupt your Prime benefits or cost you anything extra. Anyway, again, thank you very much for logging on, and I will catch you guys in the next video.